I found out I was broke on a Tuesday. Not broke like I need to skip Starbucks this week broke. Broke like my entire future just got deleted broke. I was sitting in the financial aid office at UC Berkeley, laptop open, ready to pay my spring semester tuition. $40,000. 4 years of working summers at my uncle's construction company. 4 years of birthday checks from grandparents who died thinking I'd be the first in our family to graduate college. 4 years of saying no to trips, to concerts, to anything that wasn't building towards something better. I logged into the account. Balance, $247.53. I stared at the screen until the numbers stopped making sense. Refreshed. Same number. My hands started shaking before my brain caught up to what I was seeing. The financial aid counselor asked if everything was okay. I couldn't answer. I pulled up the transaction history with fingers that didn't feel like mine anymore. Withdrawal, $8,000. January 12th. Withdrawal, $12,000. January 18th. Withdrawal, $15,000. February 2nd. Withdrawal, $5,000. February 9th. All electronic transfers. All authorized with the secondary account holder credentials. My brother Marcus. Mom and Dad had added him to the account when I was 16, back when he was the responsible elder brother who helped manage family finances. Back when I trusted him with literally everything. I called him first. Voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. Texted, "Where's my college money?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then nothing. I called Mom. She picked up on the 5th ring, and I could hear the tone in her voice. That careful, walking on eggshells tone she uses when she already knows what's coming. "Sweetheart, before you get upset." "Where's my money, Mom?" Silence. Long enough that I thought the call dropped. "Your father and I were going to talk to you about this. Marcus needed help with some expenses, and we all agreed." "We all agreed?" "I didn't agree to anything. You have scholarships. You have financial aid. Marcus doesn't have those options anymore, and this was important." "Important? That was my money. I earned that. Ethan, please don't make this dramatic. Family helps family. Your brother was in a difficult position." I hung up. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. The financial aid counselor was pretending not to listen, but her face had that practiced sympathy that made everything worse. I mumbled something about needing to figure it out and walked out before she could offer whatever script they teach for students who suddenly can afford to exist. I spent the next 3 hours in my dorm room trying to understand how my entire family could rob me and act like I was the problem for being angry about it. Then I opened Instagram. Marcus had posted 47 minutes ago. The photo showed him on one knee in front of the Santa Monica Pier at sunset. Professional photographer, perfect lighting, that golden hour glow that costs extra. The woman in front of him had her hands over her mouth, tears streaming down her face, showing off a ring that caught the light like a tiny star. The woman was Jade. My ex-girlfriend Jade. The Jade I dated for 3 years. The Jade who broke up with me 8 months ago because she needed to focus on herself and wasn't ready for serious commitment. The Jade who apparently got over that commitment issue real fast when my brother showed up with my college fund. The caption read, "She said yes. To my best friend, my soulmate, my forever. I'm the luckiest man alive." 2,847 likes. 312 comments. All congratulations, all heart emojis, all strangers celebrating the fact that my life just got stolen in 4K resolution. I scrolled through the comments like I was watching myself bleed out. My mom commented, "So happy for you both. Welcome to the family, Jade," with 7 heart emojis. My dad, "Proud of you, son. You two are perfect together." My Aunt Karen, "About time. Been waiting for this announcement." They all knew. Every single person in my family knew Marcus was dating Jade. Knew he was planning to propose. Knew he was using my money to do it. And nobody thought to mention it to me. I looked at the ring again. Zoomed in. That wasn't some mall jewelry store ring. That was easily $10,000 of my construction job summers. $10,000 of 5 a.m. shifts in blistered hands and breathing in drywall dust. On her finger. While she smiled at my brother. While my family celebrated in the comments. While I sat in a dorm room I could no longer afford, staring at a future that just collapsed. I called Marcus again. This time he picked up. "Ethan, listen. How could you? It's not what you think. I was going to pay you back, I just needed. You stole $40,000 to propose to my ex-girlfriend. She's not your ex anymore, man. You guys broke up almost a year ago. You don't get to claim her forever just because. With my money, Marcus. Silence. Mom and Dad said it was okay, he said finally. They said you had other options for school and I needed this more. Jade and I are building a life together. We're talking about buying a house, starting a family. That's real adult stuff. College is just. You can do that anytime. My throat closed up. I couldn't breathe right. You're 26 years old, I whispered. Get a job. Get a loan. Don't steal from your little brother. I didn't steal anything. It was a family decision. You're just too immature to understand that sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. Sacrifices I didn't agree to. Look, I don't have time for this. Jade and I are celebrating. We'll talk when you calm down. He hung up. I sat there holding my phone, staring at that engagement photo, and something broke inside me that I don't think will ever heal right. It wasn't just the money. It wasn't just Jade, though that twisted the knife deeper than I want to admit. It was the way everyone acted like I was selfish for being devastated. Like wanting to finish college was childish. Like watching my brother use my future to build his was something I should just accept with a smile. I dropped out the next week. Not because I wanted to. Because I had no choice. My scholarships covered tuition but not housing, not food, not books. My financial aid didn't kick in until next semester. I had $247.53 and a family that thought I was being dramatic. I moved back home because I couldn't afford anywhere else. Mom hugged me at the door and said, "See? Everything works out. Now you can save up and go back when you're ready." Marcus and Jade came over for dinner 3 days later. She couldn't look at me. Kept her left hand hidden under the table until my mom asked to see the ring again. Then she held it up, and my dad whistled low and said, "You did good, son." "Thanks," Marcus said, squeezing Jade's hand. "Only the best for my girl." He looked at me when he said it. I excused myself and threw up in the bathroom. That was 4 months ago. Now I worked the same construction job I thought I'd left behind, watching my college friends graduate on social media while Marcus and Jade plan their wedding. My parents ask me weekly when I'm going to get over this and be happy for my brother. They don't understand why I won't be in the wedding party. They don't understand why I barely speak anymore. They don't understand that they didn't just take my money. They took the version of me that believed family meant something. And I'm never getting him back. The worst part about losing everything isn't the loss itself. It's watching everyone else pretend nothing happened. Marcus and Jade set their wedding date for October. 6 months away. Mom started a group chat called Wedding Planning Squad and added me without asking. Every day, notifications I couldn't silence, cake tastings, venue options, bridesmaid dress colors. I muted it after Jade sent a message asking if I thought sage green or dusty blue matched the autumn aesthetic better. Like I was supposed to care. Like I was supposed to help plan the celebration of my own destruction. I picked up extra shifts at the construction site. Started working 6 days a week, sometimes 7 when they needed someone for emergency repairs. My supervisor, Dave, asked if everything was okay at home. "Fine," I said. He didn't believe me. Nobody did. But nobody pushed either. The money helped. Not enough to go back to Berkeley, not even close. But enough to move out of my parents' house and into a studio apartment that smelled like mildew and old cigarettes. The landlord said the smell would fade. 3 months later, it hadn't. I avoided family dinners. Made excuses. Work ran late. Wasn't feeling well. Had plans with friends I didn't actually have anymore. My college friends had moved on. Different lives now. They were doing internships and study abroad programs and complaining about finals. I was scraping drywall and trying not to think about the future I used to have. One night, Jake, my old roommate from Berkeley, called me. "Dude, where have you been? You just disappeared. Had to take a semester Roth. Family stuff. You coming back in the fall?" I looked around my studio apartment. At the stack of bills on the counter. At my work boots covered in concrete dust. Yeah, I lied. Probably. Cool. We miss you, man. It's not the same without you. After we hung up, I sat in the dark for 2 hours. The invitation arrived in June. Thick cardstock, elegant script, my name printed in gold lettering. Mr. Ethan Rivera. You are cordially invited to celebrate the marriage of Marcus Rivera and Jade Chan. I stared at it until the words blurred. Jade Chan. She was taking his last name. The same last name I had. We joked about it once, back when we were dating, how she wouldn't have to change anything if we got married someday. She'd laughed and said, "Getting ahead of yourself, aren't you?" I wasn't anymore. Mom called that evening. Did you get the invitation? Isn't it beautiful? Jade has such good taste. Yeah. Got it. You'll be there, right? It would mean so much to Marcus. I almost laughed. Would it? Ethan, please. Don't make this difficult. He's your brother. He stole from me, Mom. He borrowed from the family. There's a difference. And he's going to pay you back once they're settled. When? In 10 years? 20? You're being bitter. This isn't attractive. I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. 2 weeks later, Marcus showed up at my apartment. I didn't let him in. We talked through the door like strangers. Ethan, come on. We need to clear the air before the wedding. There's nothing to clear. I know you're upset, but this has gone on long enough. Family is family. We forgive each other and move forward. You haven't apologized. Silence. I haven't apologized because I didn't do anything wrong. Mom and Dad agreed. It was a family decision. I'm family. Nobody asked me. You were at school. You were busy. We didn't want to stress you out. I opened the door, looked him in the face for the first time in months. He looked good. Healthy. Happy. Like someone whose life was going exactly according to plan. Get out, I said quietly. Ethan. Get out of my building. Don't come back. You're really going to throw away our relationship over money? You already did that. I'm just accepting it. He left. I watched him drive away in his new car. A car he bought 2 months ago. Another thing he could suddenly afford. I didn't RSVP to the wedding. Mom called. I didn't answer. Dad texted, "You're embarrassing the family." I blocked him. My Aunt Karen showed up at my work site in July. Found me during lunch break sitting on a stack of lumber. Your mother is worried about you. Tell her I'm fine. You don't look fine. I didn't answer. I'd lost 15 pounds since dropping out. Wasn't sleeping. Kept having dreams where I was back at Berkeley, sitting in lectures, taking notes. Then I'd wake up in my studio apartment and remember. Marcus made a mistake, Karen said. But he's young. He's learning. You can't hold this against him forever. He's 26. That's not young. That's old enough to know you don't steal. It's not stealing when it's family money. It was my money. I earned it. My name was on that account. Your name and his name. Legally, he had every right. Then legally, I have every right to never speak to him again. She sighed, patted my shoulder like I was a child throwing a tantrum. You'll regret missing the wedding. These are the moments you can't get back. After she left, I sat there until my lunch break ended, staring at my hands. They were calloused now, scarred. Different from the hands I had when I was at Berkeley. Different person. Different life. I started seeing Jade around town more often. Costa Mesa isn't that big. We'd always run into each other eventually. First time was at the grocery store. She was in the produce section, examining avocados. She saw me. Froze. Then grabbed her card and went the other direction so fast she almost hit another shopper. Second time was at a gas station. She was pumping gas 2 lanes over. We made eye contact. She looked away, finished pumping and left before I could even start. Third time was at a coffee shop. I walked in. She was already there, sitting in the corner with her laptop. She looked up. Our eyes met. For 3 seconds, neither of us moved. Then she closed her laptop, gathered her things, and walked out. Left her coffee on the table. Still half full. I sat down in her empty seat. The coffee was one of those expensive ones. $7. She'd ordered the same thing she always used to order when we dated. Vanilla oat milk latte, extra shot. No foam. I knew because I'd bought her hundreds of them. I sat there looking at that abandoned coffee cup until the barista asked if I was going to order something. August came. Wedding in 2 months. The group chat got more frantic. Mom sent daily updates I didn't read. Dress fittings. Bachelor party plans. Hotel blocks. My cousin Emma, the only family member still speaking to me like I was human, call. Are you really not going? I'm really not going. Everyone's going to talk about you. They already do. Mom's telling people you're having a mental health crisis. Maybe I am. Ethan. Emma. I can't watch them celebrate. I can't stand in that room and pretend I'm happy while Marcus gives a speech about true love and Jade walks down the aisle wearing the dress they bought with my future. I can't do it. I get it, she said quietly. I do. For what it's worth, I think what they did was messed up. Thanks. But they're not going to see it that way. Ever. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. After the call, I pulled out my laptop, looked at my Berkeley student portal one last time. My account was deactivated. Enrollment terminated. 4 semesters completed, but no degree. All those classes, all that work, all those nights studying until 3 a.m. Gone. I closed the laptop. 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "This is Jade. Please don't respond. I just need to say this. I never meant for things to happen this way. Marcus and I didn't plan to fall for each other. It just happened. I know you're angry, and you have every right to be. But I hope someday you can understand that people's hearts change and that's not always anyone's fault. I hope you find happiness. I really do." I read it 17 times. Then I blocked the number. The wedding was on October 12th. I worked a double shift that day. Came home covered in paint and dust and exhausted enough that I might actually sleep. My phone had 47 missed calls. Mom, Dad, and Karen. Cousins. Even people I barely knew. One voicemail from my mother. "You didn't show up." Marcus cried during his vows. "Your father won't speak to me because I defended you. I hope you're proud of yourself for ruining your brother's special day." I deleted it without finishing. Around midnight, photos started appearing online. The venue was beautiful. Outdoor ceremony, string lights everywhere, that golden sunset lighting that makes everything look like a dream. Marcus in a tailored suit, Jade in a white dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Both of them smiling. Everyone smiling. My parents in the front row, beaming. Not a single photo of me, obviously. But I was there anyway. In the empty space in the family photos. In the brother of the groom spot that stayed vacant. In the speeches that probably mentioned my absence. I was there in every way that hurt. I looked at those photos until I couldn't anymore. Then I went outside and sat on the steps of my apartment building and watched cars drive by and wondered how it was possible to be surrounded by family and still be completely alone. The answer came eventually, all 3 of them laughing at something outside the frame. My face wasn't in any of the family portraits they posted. Photoshopped out of existence. I kept working. Kept my head down. Started taking community college classes at night because I couldn't stand the thought of construction sites being my forever. 2 classes. That's all I could afford. Introduction to Business and English Composition. Nothing like Berkeley. Nothing like the engineering degree I'd been building toward. But something. Jake called again in November. "Man, I saw on Facebook that your brother got married. That's wild. How was it? Didn't go." "Wait, what? Why not?" I told him. Everything. The money, Jade, the family choosing sides. All of it spilled out in one long confession that I couldn't stop once I started. Silence on the other end. "That's messed up," Jake said finally. "Like, really messed up. Have you talked to a lawyer?" "About what?" "Dude, that's theft. I don't care if his name was on the account. That money was yours. You earned it. There has to be something you can do." I'd thought about it. Late at night when I couldn't sleep, I'd thought about it a lot. But lawyers cost money I didn't have. And taking my brother to court meant burning every bridge with my family permanently. Not that the bridges weren't already collapsing, but there was a difference between damaged and completely destroyed. "I just want to move on," I told Jake. But I didn't know how. Christmas was brutal. Mom called 2 weeks before and asked if I was coming to the family dinner. "Will Marcus be there?" "Of course. It's Christmas. The whole family will be there." "Then no. Ethan, this is getting ridiculous. It's been months. You need to let this go." "I'll let it go when someone admits what happened was wrong." "Nothing wrong happened. You're being stubborn and selfish and you're ruining every family event with your attitude." "I'm not ruining anything. I'm just not showing up." "Same thing," she snapped, and hung up. Christmas Day, I worked a half shift, came home, and ate leftover Chinese food alone in my apartment. My phone stayed silent until 9 p.m. when Emma texted. "Merry Christmas. Everyone asked about you." "Well, everyone except Marcus and your parents. They pretended you don't exist. Just thought you should know." I texted back, "Thanks for telling me." She replied, "For what it's worth, I think you're handling this better than I would. I would have burned the whole house down by now." I almost smiled. Almost thought the new year came and went. I kept working. Kept taking classes. Started seeing a therapist because I couldn't sleep more than 3 hours at a time and my coworker Dave threatened to report me to OSHA if I kept operating heavy equipment while exhausted. The therapist's name was Dr. Morgan. Middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a way of asking questions that made me feel like she actually cared about the answers. "Tell me about your family," she said in our first session. I told her everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair and said, "That's a profound betrayal. Everyone keeps telling me to get over it. Everyone isn't living your life. You are. And what happened to you wasn't just about money. It was about trust, about identity, about your place in your family structure. Those aren't things you just get over. Something in my chest loosened. So I'm not crazy? You're not crazy. You're grieving. There's a difference. I saw her every week after that. February brought the first crack in the family facade. Emma called, breathless. You need to hear this. I was at Mom and Dad's house and Marcus showed up asking for money. Again. Apparently he and Jade are having trouble with their mortgage payments. Dad straight up told him no. Said they'd helped enough. Marcus lost it. Started yelling about how they'd promised to help him build a life, how it wasn't fair that they were cutting him off now. What did Dad say? He said, and I quote, maybe if you hadn't blown $40,000 on a wedding and a ring, you'd have a safety net. Then Marcus said, you told me to use that money, and Dad said, I didn't tell you to use all of it. I sat down. My legs stopped working. They're fighting about money, Emma continued. Real fights. Mom's caught in the middle trying to keep the peace. It's a mess. Good, I said. Ethan. No, I mean it. Good. Let them feel what I felt. Let them understand what it's like when family takes from you and expects you to smile about it. You're angrier than I thought. I'm exactly as angry as I should be. March brought the second crack. Jade's sister, Melissa, reached out to me on Instagram. We'd been friendly when Jade and I dated. Not close, but friendly. Her message was short. Can we talk? In person? We met at a coffee shop. Different one from where Jade had run out on me. Melissa looked uncomfortable. Kept fidgeting with her napkin. I need to tell you something, and Jade can never know I told you. Okay. She's miserable. She won't admit it, but she is. Marcus isn't who she thought he was. He's controlling. Checks her phone. Gets angry if she talks to guy friends. Makes comments about her weight, about her cooking, about how she's not as fun as she used to be. I didn't say anything. Couldn't. She mentioned you last week. Said she missed how you used to treat her. Like she mattered. Like her opinions were important. Melissa posed. I think she made a mistake. I think she knows it. But she isn't too deep now to admit it. Just empty. April brought the breaking point. Mom called. Her voice was different. Smaller. Ethan, I need to talk to you about something. I'm listening. Your father and I are having financial problems. The market hasn't been good, and we made some investments that didn't pan out. We're going to have to downsize. Sell the house. Okay. We were hoping you might be able to help with some expenses. Just temporarily until we get back on our feet. The irony was so thick I almost choked on it. You want to borrow money from me. It's not borrowing. It's family helping family. Like we've always done. Like when you helped Marcus steal my college fund? Ethan, don't start. How much do you need? Silence. Then, quietly, 10,000. I laughed. Couldn't help it. A bitter, hollow sound that surprised us both. I don't have $10,000, Mom. I'm taking community college classes and living in a studio apartment that smells like cigarettes. I lost $40,000, remember? Because family helps family. This is different. How? Because we're your parents. We raised you. We sacrificed for you. And I would have sacrificed for you. Gladly. If you'd asked. If you'd treated me like I mattered. But you didn't. You chose Marcus. You chose his happiness over mine. And now you want me to fix your problems? So that's it? You're going to abandon us when we need you? I'm going to do exactly what you taught me to do. Make family decisions without consulting everyone involved. Except my decision is no. I hung up. She called back 17 times. I didn't answer. Dad texted, "You're no son of mine." I blocked him. May was quiet. Too quiet. Emma told me Marcus and Jade were fighting constantly. That the mortgage was 3 months behind. That Marcus had asked every family member for money and gotten turned down by all of them. He's talking about bankruptcy, Emma said. Jade's talking about moving back in with her parents. It's bad. Not my problem. You don't feel anything? No sympathy at all? I feel lots of things. Sympathy isn't one of them. June brought the final message. From Marcus. I'm sorry. 2 words. After everything. 2 words. I stared at them for an hour. Then I typed back, sorry doesn't pay tuition. Sorry doesn't give me back the last 2 years. Sorry doesn't undo what you took from me. His response came immediately, I know. I know it doesn't. I messed up. I was selfish and I thought I deserved it more than you and I was wrong. I don't know how to fix this. You can't fix it. It's not fixable. Can we talk? In person? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Then I typed, no. I don't want your apology. I don't want your explanations. I want you to live with what you did. I want you to understand what it feels like to lose everything because someone you trusted decided they mattered more. I want you to carry that weight every single day the way I have. And when it gets too heavy, I want you to remember that you did this. Not me. You. I blocked his number. It's July now. I'm still working construction. Still taking night classes. Still sleeping in a studio apartment and watching my old friends from Berkeley graduate and start careers and live the lives I was supposed to have. I haven't spoken to my parents in 3 months. Haven't seen Marcus in over a year. Haven't seen Jade since that coffee shop. Emma tells me Marcus and Jade are separated. That he's living in his car. That Jade moved back to her parents' house in San Diego. That my parents are selling their house and moving into a retirement community they can actually afford. Everyone's life fell apart. Including mine. Especially mine. People keep telling me I should forgive them. That holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That family is forever and I'll regret burning these bridges. But here's what they don't understand. I didn't burn the bridges. I just stopped pretending they were still standing. My therapist asked me last week what I want now. What the girl is. I told her the truth. I don't want revenge. I don't want them to suffer. I just want to stop feeling like the person I used to be died and nobody noticed. I want to stop checking my old Berkeley email hoping for some miracle that lets me go back. I want to stop seeing engagement rings and feeling sick. I want to stop being the villain in my own family's story just because I refused to pretend betrayal was love. She asked if I thought I'd ever get those things. I didn't have an answer. I still don't. Last night I drove past my parents' old house. There's a sold sign on the lawn now. Someone else's family will live there. Someone else's kids will grow up in those bedrooms. I sat in my car looking at it until the street lights came on. Then I drove back to my apartment and sat on those same steps where I watched the wedding photos upload and I realized something. I'm never going to be okay with what happened. I'm never going to wake up one day and think, you know what? It all worked out. Because it didn't work out. I lost. They all lost too, eventually. But I lost first, and I lost more, and I lost the version of myself that believed people would choose me. And that's the version I miss most. Dr. Morgan says healing isn't about getting that version back. It's about learning to be whoever I am now. I'm trying. Some days are easier than others. Most days aren't easy at all. I'm 22 years old. I should be graduating next spring. Should be applying to jobs in my field. Should be excited about the future. Instead, I'm taking intro to business at a community college and trying to figure out how to afford next semester's textbooks. My brother got married to my ex-girlfriend with money he stole from me, and my parents chose his happiness over mine, and my entire extended family watched it happen and did nothing. And the worst part, the part that keeps me up at night, the part I can't say out loud even to Dr. Morgan. I still love them. All of them. And I hate myself for it. Because love isn't supposed to feel like this. Like bleeding out slowly while everyone tells you there's no wound. Like drowning in a room full of people who won't throw you a rope because it might get them wet. They taught me that family means sacrifice. They just never told me I'd be the only one doing the sacrificing. And that's the lesson no one warns you about when you're young and stupid enough to trust that blood means loyalty. Sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones who were supposed to love you best. And the only thing worse than that betrayal is realizing you'd still bleed for them if they asked.